All right, what's going on, everyone out there on YouTube? NES Ruler, and welcome to a brand new review. And this time around, we check out a film that was sent to me review by VCI Entertainment, and you can pick this up on Blu-ray at all your favorite online retailers. It is a film from the year 1918, starring Mary Pickford, and it goes by Johanna's Enlists. So if you guys don't follow me on letterboxd.com/NESRuler22. You would know I'm doing a challenge called Silent-a-thon, and basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to watch 100 silent films that I've never seen before, just because I've always was fascinated with silent films. It's a section of film history that I feel like, unless you're a super film nerd, not that many people watch and talk about. So, January or so, I would say got really into silent movies and checking out silent films and watching them that I haven't seen before and diving more into the history of early cinema. And I'm about like 15, 16 films in so far. And this is a new Blu-ray from VCI that is getting released in July. So I figured, I'm definitely going to want to review this one for you guys for sure. And this is, like I said, a brand new release from VCI Entertainment in partnership with the Library of Congress. This is from a print that they got in the mid-1950s. So it's quite an old print that the Library of Congress have been holding. And now it's getting released here on Blu-ray. VCI has been working with the Mary Pickford Foundation for a little while now, and releasing some of these films out on Blu-ray. They have released a couple over the past year or so, and this is the newest one. This one is mainly complete. It's missing the third reel, and that's the one thing I want to say about this release in VCI in general. They do a really great job of explaining and visualizing the missing reel of this film. It's missing its third reel, and a lot of times when you watch silent films and they're missing reels, a lot of the time they are. There's people who put them out just do a very basic text explanation about what the missing reel was contributing to the narrative. Well, VCI did a little bit something different. They used a lot of promotional stills and a lot of intertitles to really explain the missing part of the story that contained the third reel. So I do give VCI credit on that sense. The transfer, it's not very good. Like I said, the print's from 1955, so it's quite an old print. But the restoration isn't the best here. I definitely seen a lot better. It's totally watchable, better than any DVD that you're gonna see. So it's nice that it has a Blu-ray release, but I just want to throw that out there. And I also just want to talk about the score quickly. The score is pretty good for the most part. This film takes place on a farm, so it has a working man kind of banjo South kind of feel to it, and then it evolves more into your typical standard orchestra score as the film progresses. Wasn't my favorite. I think the southern kind of score doesn't really work that often in a silent film like this, but it did the trick as the film progressed. So Johanna Enlists, we basically follow, it's a very basic film. Mary Pickford's character plays Johanna. She lives on a farm with her two younger siblings, her mother and her father, and she's basically looking for love. She hasn't been able to find any love interest in her life. Her parents hold her back, haven't really been able to find anything or anybody to connect to. And one day, this is about three or so months before the end of World War I. So one day a platoon is marching through their small farm, and they decide to stay the night because it's going to get dark out. And as we learn, they end up staying there for a couple weeks, and there is two soldiers that fall for Johanna, and now she's in a predicament where before there wasn't anybody that she would find to date, and now there's all these men who are basically drooling over her because they haven't seen a woman in, God knows how long, because they've been fighting overseas in Germany in World War One. So now Johanna's in a predicament, but the film just focuses mainly on two characters, this lieutenant and this captain. He's some sort of higher rank official who gets sick and gets to stay in the house. And Johanna fancies the younger lieutenant, but this captain doesn't take that for an answer. And there's the love triangle starts to play into place. Like I said, very basic film, love triangle kind of film. But usually in these war films that we see at this time, especially during World War One, they evolve a lot of the time with guns and tanks and huge lavish set pieces. So it's kind of nice to see a little bit of a love story revolving around the war that was happening at the time. So this was one film that Pickford made with Artcraft Studios, which was a subdivision of Paramount, and basically she produced 13 films for them between the years of 1916 and 1918, and this was one of the last films that she made before she moved on and signed another contract with, I can't remember when, but I know that the 12 films, or the 13 films that she made with Artcraft are some of her more well-known and popular films, because she produced them. She had a lot more control on those films. And, at this point, Pickford was America's sweetheart at this point. She was, even though she's Canadian, but she was probably the biggest actress in America at the time. So these 13 films, you can only see 11 of them, but these 13 films are what really made her mark, besides her early stuff that she made with Biograph and D.W. Griffin. But overall, this is a fine film. I think Pickford does a good job conveying some level of comedy, but it's a very basic love triangle kind of a film. Doesn't really do anything special or anything that interesting, which is fine, but I didn't really think it was the best film that I've watched so far. But most of Pickford's stuff is usually pretty decent. So on the feature-wise, we have a commentary track with the historian, and then we have some liner notes in the features. And then we have a short that she made at Biograph with D.W. Griffin in 1912, titled A Beast at Bay. And this is like a Mary Pickford plays this character. She gets in an argument with her significant other because he didn't stand up for her against this sleazy dude. And ultimately she gets kidnapped by this escaped convict, and her significant other comes after her and saves the day. It's interesting. Like I said, she made it with D.W. Griffin in 1912, so there's a little bit of early D.W. Griffith on this, so it was interesting for what it is. It's like 13 minutes long. I don't really like to count shorts towards this silent-a-thon that I'm doing, but it was an interesting short, and I appreciate that it was on here, and it looks good. Let's talk about the edition here from VCI. There's the artwork. And then here is the discs. Now, the Blu-ray is actually the DVD, and the DVD is actually the Blu-ray. They made a boo-boo. So if you get this, just know that the Blu-ray is actually the DVD, and the DVD is actually the Blu-ray. We'll see if they VCI and MVD actually fixes this, but I just want to guys let you know that that is the thing. They made a boo-boo. But overall, interesting film for Mary Pickford. Like I said, it's not the best, but any silent film that gets a HD restoration and gets some love, I'm all for. Like I said, I've been really going hard on the silent stuff lately, so I'm excited to see what else VCI does with the Pickford Foundation as time goes on, but we'll see. So that is my review of Johanna Enlists from the year 1918. Like I said, you can pick this up at all your favorite online retailers from VCI Entertainment. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you guys like this review, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NESRoller22. Hope everybody's doing well, and I shall talk to you guys soon. See you guys.